Tonight on CTV News, murder mystery.
Oh, we're in shock. We feel really quite numb.
What happened to actor Stuart McLean? Police descend on Lions Bay, trying to piece together his final moments.
It is, of course, a little annoying to have the detours and so on, but I think it's a little price to pay for the big event.
FIFA fencing, bracing for traffic tie-ups downtown with the World Cup around the corner. What you need to know about road closures.
I actually respect their right to do this because it is it's a democratic process.
MLA Dallas Brody, the target of a recall campaign, speaks with CTV. What she's saying about her comments about Indigenous people.
This is CTV News with Mi Jung Lee.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Police have discovered the remains of a BC actor who disappeared a week ago from his Lions Bay home. Investigators are scouring the small community trying to find out who killed Stuart McLean. CTV's Sinjin Alexander has our top story.
You got your puffball and your death cap.
Stu McLean was a character actor, known for playing a wide range of roles in shows like Virgin River, Supernatural, and Arrow. His friends and neighbors say he was hoping for that big break.
Stuart's a very decent, caring person, always friendly.
Last Friday, May 15th, was the last time he was seen alive. Worried, his roommate called police 3 days later, and a search was launched.
And it's like he arrived home and dropped his stuff and then vanished.
That's McLean's neighbor of 15 years, Russ Micklejohn.
I don't know if we'll feel any better when we hear the whole story. Probably not, because we've already imagined all those scenarios.
Lions Bay is surrounded by the ocean and steep terrain. With the help of search and rescue, the 45-year-old's remains were discovered near his home.
IHIT investigators are very experienced, and with all the available information that they've gathered to date, it leads them to believe that this was a homicide.
Do you know of anyone who might want to hurt him?
Absolutely not, no.
And Mounties won't reveal why they believe he was killed, but are now trying to trace where he was and what he was doing before May 15th.
I raised her $20K.
His talent agency tells CTV News they are devastated, and that McLean was a respected and admired actor. He will always be remembered for his kindness and humor.
Oh, we're in shock. We feel really quite numb. We're not sleeping well. It's very disturbing.
Police are expected to be here for some time, but Mounties believe this was isolated. The community is not at risk. Sinjin Alexander, CTV News, Lions Bay.
The threat of a strike by BC's 50,000 nurses has been avoided. Unionized nurses have reached a tentative agreement with health employers. CTV's Lauren Pullen is following this in the Breaking News Center. Lauren?
Mi Jung, after nurses voted overwhelmingly in favor of a strike last week, both sides got back to negotiations immediately and this afternoon reached that tentative agreement. The BCNU says it was able to secure meaningful gains for nurses across the province, including improved benefits, wage increases, and workplace violence prevention measures. The union also says it was able to secure significant funding to be put toward a minimum nurse-to-patient ratio. Members will now review that deal with a ratification vote set for mid-June. Meech.
Thank you, Lauren. T-minus 13 hours before the first World Cup-related street closure comes into effect downtown. Kickoff at BC Place isn't for another 3 weeks, but the disruptions surrounding the big event are already beginning. CTV's Martin McMahon is live at Pacific and Carroll, where come tomorrow, the area will be off limits to vehicle traffic. Martin.
Mi Jung, this all starts tomorrow on Pacific Boulevard, which will be closed for 2 months, and that starts at 7 in the morning. And the closure will be between the Cambie Street Bridge off-ramp up to Carroll Street. So really, it's best to familiarize yourself with alternative routes as we go into this World Cup period. Preparations are in full swing in the area south of BC Place. On Pacific Boulevard, you won't see cars like these making their way through here for the next 2 months.
That's because the way that they're actually managing the stadium and the pre-show in the area in advance, it really doesn't work with traffic flowing through there.
This stretch of Pacific Boulevard will be put behind security fencing. On the 7 Vancouver match days, closures will be even more widespread in the area around the stadium.
It is, of course, a little annoying to have like the detours and so on, but I think it's a little price to pay for like the big event.
It happened only for like a couple of weeks, right? So it's like, yeah, we're gonna get so many nationalities here and it's totally worth it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure Vancouver is ready. There's a lot of construction going around and it's very busy already, but I'm excited for it.
Maybe some issues with like cars coming in and then people going to work and stuff, but I think overall we need that party back and bring back the city to life like the Olympics.
SkyTrain will likely be your best way in and out of downtown, especially on match days.
The big one for everyone is to build in extra time, whether you're going to the match on a game day, whether you're going to the fan festival, or whether you are a regular user of our system and just trying to get, from point A to B. You need to build in extra time to make sure that you are on time for where you need to go.
But if you're going to a game, you are advised to go to the Main Street station, with Stadium Chinatown not providing direct access to BC Place.
And if you do get off there for the match, you're going to have to do a big walk around because of the city and FIFA's closure for the security perimeter around BC Place.
Another thing to factor in with this is that a good chunk of Granville Street downtown is going to be closed off to vehicles. So if you take a bus that goes through there, keep in mind there is going to be a pedestrian zone in place June 11th through July 20th. So that's something everyone has to be aware of if they're going through downtown. Mi-Jung?
Yeah, a lot of changes to keep in mind. Thank you, Martin. Drivers who take the Stalo Awesome Bridge into New Westminster will have to find an alternative route this weekend. The northbound lanes of the crossing will be closed starting at 9 tonight until Monday morning. The closure is to install a span of the multi-use path overpass next to the bridge connector. Vancouver Quilchena MLA Dallas Brody is sitting down with CTV News tonight as a campaign to try to remove her from office is underway. Brody says she is not surprised by the recall petition, but is standing by past controversial comments she made about the Indigenous community. Yasmin Gandam has the story.
For all the people who are upset with me, there are another huge chunk that are very happy with me, which is politics. Right?
Dallas Brody not surprised by a recall campaign launched against her by Dorothy Cumming, a resident in Brody's Vancouver Quilchena riding.
As much as Dorothy Cumming wants to stomp her feet and have her tantrum about the fact that she doesn't like what I'm saying, I can't control that.
The recall, approved by Elections BC Thursday, has now started collecting signatures. The petition says Brody is unfit to represent the riding, prioritizing starting a new political party over the needs of her constituents, and highlighting past comments Brody has made, denying bodies were found at the Kamloops residential school site.
There have been no bodies found, and that is a fact.
But can you understand for Indigenous people who have experienced this trauma firsthand that saying that there were no bodies found could be, in a way, denying their real experience?
Which real experience?
The residential school experience.
No,
but that people did die in the residential school system.
Let's deal with the mass grave story, which is all I was dealing with. So what are you saying to me, that we should all say that there are bodies there?
But there were people that died in the residential school system.
And they've all been documented. And I'm not the expert on this issue, but they have been documented and accounted for, every single one. I think a lot of what I'm about to is that we have to stop celebrating victimhood in Canada.
Brody was kicked out of the Conservative Party after her comments when then leader John Rustad said she had mocked residential school survivors. She now sits as an independent.
Could you perhaps apologize for any hurt that might have been caused from those comments?
No, I'm unapologetic about the position I took and the situation that came up, and this desire to have me somehow submit to this requirement.
A recall petition has never been successful in BC. The campaign has until July 20th to collect more than 15,000 signatures.
If that results in me being booted out at the next election, then so be it. That's politics.
Yasmin Gandam, CTV News, Vancouver.
A day after a prolific voyeur was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison, Saanich police say they are receiving numerous emails from people wondering if they are victims. Police say a significant number of people have contacted investigators to learn whether they're one of 652 victims. Detectives previously identified 40 victims and now say they have identified even more. Yin Young Derek Chan was sentenced for secretly recording women and girls across Greater Victoria between 2017 and 2023. Police say Chan captured and shared images online taken in parks, retail spaces, on beaches, and even through the windows of homes.
The maximum sentence you can receive is 5 years under the criminal code for a voyeurism offense. So this tells the public that this case is very, very close to being one of the worst things that you could imagine in terms of a voyeurism offense.
Police say they are still working to get the images taken down online. Anyone who may be a victim is asked to contact investigators. A woman who owned 2 dogs that killed an 11-year-old Osoyoos boy has been found guilty of criminal negligence causing death. The trial for 46-year-old Crystal McDonald wrapped up today. The judge ruled she was ultimately responsible for the death of her former roommate's son, Cash Grist. McDonald's dogs killed Cash in April 2024 at a home in Edmonton while he was visiting his dad on spring break. Although McDonald warned Cash and his father about the dogs, the judge said her actions were wholly insufficient and inadequate, considering the dog's past behavior. The dogs killed 2 pets and bit 3 people in the 9 months leading to Cash's death.
Her rule was that Cash couldn't be alone with the dogs, but it was clear that even one person being present with a potential victim was not enough. There had always been other people present during all of the attacks.
Our position, of course, is, Miss McDonald, who loved that boy like a nephew, was put in a very difficult position when his father showed up with him and took steps that, to her, she reasonably believed would protect the child.
McDonald is scheduled to be sentenced in September. Her lawyer says they plan to appeal. As the city prepares to host visitors and locals for the World Cup, many will likely spend time at the beaches. But this summer, Vancouver police will be scaling back their beach presence. As CTV's Isabella Zavarisi reports, the VPD is blaming the park board, while the board calls that misinformation.
For more than 2 decades, the Vancouver Police Department has had dedicated beach patrols. Those patrols became more prevalent in the last few years, following the Alcohol on Beaches program. But come this summer, they'll be scaling them back as they hand the reins over to the park rangers. The VPD says the park board cut funding. The park board's chair, however, disputes that.
It is not the park board's responsibility to fund public safety on our beaches. That's the police department. They have a $450 million budget this year, and they can find the money to keep the city safe, especially during this FIFA season.
When thousands of people will flock to our beaches. Since 2024, VPD officers were deployed to support park rangers. That same year, the city once again allowed alcohol on beaches.
We want you to be careful, especially if we're going to be consuming alcohol around the water.
Booze at beaches has been popular, but pricey, costing nearly $500,000.
Our main goal is we just want to keep people safe. And unfortunately, sometimes that takes dollars to do.
Tom Digby says the cops didn't make a funding request this year.
We assumed it was because the police were too embarrassed, because they received a $50 million budget increase this year, and every other city department, including the park board, got cut.
Mayor Ken Sim isn't happy and questions the board's priorities, saying in a statement, quote, Vancouverites deserve transparency and accountability about how these decisions are being made. Residents expect common sense. If Vancouverites are enjoying a beer or a wine on the beach, public safety considerations must remain a priority.
I am demanding a full retraction from him and from the chief of police, who have provided misinformation to the public.
Police say they will still respond to calls at the beaches and will support park staff. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
One of BC's busiest hospitals is about to open the doors on a new tower. The long-awaited Jim Pattison Acute Care Tower at Royal Columbian will start accepting patients at the end of the month. But it comes as critics prepare to rally against the delayed expansion of another hospital. CTV's Michelle Bernoro has more.
A major milestone Friday as officials announced the new 388-bed tower will open May 31st, saying it will bring quicker access to specialized life-saving treatment.
This new tower will expand access to advanced specialized care for people not just in the Lower Mainland, but across the region and throughout the province.
The tower will include expanded inpatient units, a cardiac ICU, and a new emergency department, which Fraser Health says will improve access to wraparound comprehensive emergency care and enhance patient flow.
What today's announcement demonstrates is that our government's continued investments in healthcare infrastructure projects across the province continue.
But the good news for one hospital comes just days before a planned rally over delays in construction at another hospital.
There has been a large public outcry on the cancellation of phase 2 of the Burnaby Hospital. It's at a time when half of the projects that have been cancelled have been in Fraser Health.
Earlier this year, the province cancelled the construction contract for the Burnaby Hospital expansion and put 7 long-term care home projects on hold.
When you cancel contracts, it signals to the public that these projects are now being pulled offline, and there's no reassurance of when they're starting up.
The Ministry of Infrastructure says the timelines have been, quote, adjusted as they work to make them more financially sustainable.
There are some projects whose most recent cost estimates have come back with cost escalations that are unacceptable.
The minister says since 2017, her government has opened 50 new or upgraded hospital and healthcare facilities and 16 long-term care homes. Back at Royal Columbian, Phase 3 of the tower is expected to open in the fall. This phase will include upgrades to the existing healthcare centre and Columbia Tower. The cost of Phase 2 and 3 are estimated at nearly $2 billion. Popoff says the construction was 3 years behind schedule and $359 million over budget. Michelle Bernoro, CTV News, New Westminster.
It's time to take a look outside at English Bay. This is our view from the Grouse Mountain camera. A beautiful evening to be out on the beach. I'm sure the beaches are going to be really busy tonight.
Yes,
Anne?
Beaches and patios, a fabulous way to finish off the work week on this Friday. Lots of sunshine out there, warm temperatures as well. Here's a look across the Lower Mainland right now. We're seeing 21 degrees at the Harbour, 24 in Burnaby, 25s in Surrey, Pitt Meadows and Abbotsford, and 26 degrees in Chilliwack. So as we head into the weekend, we'll see a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow. 19 degrees, inland temperatures reach 22. And then increase in cloud coverage for Sunday. A few breaks, mostly cloudy skies, 18 degrees. And we will see seasonal temperatures, which is something we haven't seen for a while. So cooler as we head into the weekend. And you'll have to dust off your umbrellas to start off the work week. I've got your full forecast coming out.
Yeah, haven't used those for a while.
A long time.
All right, thanks, Anne. The long road to recovery for a Richmond woman hit by a dump truck. She shares her story to thank the doctors who saved her life. Also ahead. How quickly a child's bed erupted in flames on Vancouver Island. A warning from firefighters about the dangers of lithium-ion batteries. When CTV News at 6 continues. Stay with us. Terrifying video shows a child's bed on Vancouver Island erupt in flames. The cause? A lithium-ion battery for a remote-controlled car that was being recharged. No one was hurt and the fire was quickly put out. The Dashwood Volunteer Fire Department is sharing the video as a warning to charge devices on a hard service and never leave them unattended. A Richmond mom is lucky to be alive after a devastating crash left her with serious injuries. Now she is sharing her story of survival and gratitude. Here's CTV's Kevin Chirac.
I just knew, no, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to survive.
Julia Kwan recalls the life-changing day on November 4th, 2024, when she was struck by a dump truck while crossing this Richmond intersection.
When the accident happened, I was mostly feeling shock. I looked down and saw my leg, and it was just, I thought I was going to lose my leg.
First responders rushed her to Vancouver General Hospital's emergency room.
What were you thinking when you first saw her?
Anytime people have lost enough blood that they're showing changes in their vital signs that are that significant, we need to catch up.
Her injuries catastrophic: internal bleeding, a ruptured spleen, and multiple fractures.
At least a dozen people around the bed, with all hands on deck and all eyes in.
Amid the chaos, Kwan turned to her family for hope.
I truly think what kept me alive is the thought that I didn't want my son to live without his mom.
She required 8 surgeries, spent 6 days in intensive care, and 9 weeks in hospital, facing a long and challenging road to recovery.
I knew it already, but she really proved how strong she really is, physically and mentally especially.
A year and a half later, life is starting to feel more normal. She still deals with PTSD and has more surgery ahead, but she's found a new appreciation for life, friends, and family.
That's really what I want to bring to the rest of my life. It says, "What the truck."
And she started a new project.
Sometimes the best way to get through something really hard is through humor, even though it's a little bit dark.
Kwan is now sharing her story to support the VGH Hometown Heroes Lottery and honor the team behind her recovery.
I can't even put into words how thankful I am.
Sounds like they saved your life.
They did save my life.
Kevin Chirac, CTV News, Richmond.
The Union for the Metro Vancouver Regional District's outside workers has filed a 72-hour strike notice with the province's Labour Relations Board. It comes after the two sides failed to strike a deal. Here's CTV's Ben Nesbitt on the possible impacts.
With negotiations at a standstill, the roughly 600 workers represented by the Greater Vancouver Regional District Employees Union are ready to take action.
The monetary issues are still there. They're not resolved, but there's big issues around the non-monetary issues right now.
Union leaders say health and safety, staffing shortages, and contracting out union work have all become major sticking points in talks with Metro Vancouver. The union represents outside workers responsible for a wide range of core services across the region, including drinking water, sewer infrastructure, and regional parks. It says the sides last held talks on April 13th, with no further discussions scheduled.
Job action could potentially impact parks in Metro Vancouver, where employees are responsible for those parks. There are essential service designations for other important tasks, but there would be an impact if, unfortunately, the members have to walk out.
In a statement, Metro Vancouver saying, regardless of job action, there will be no disruption to essential services like drinking water, wastewater treatment, and solid waste management. We remain committed to listening to employees, addressing concerns, and continuously strengthening how we protect our workforce every day. Union leaders also accuse senior management of mishandling major projects, including the massive cost overruns linked to the North Shore wastewater treatment plant.
Metro Vancouver is a big problem, and the workers aren't going to pay the price for it.
If a deal isn't reached, workers could be in a legal position to strike as early as Sunday afternoon. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, Vancouver.
We now know what it would cost to park at BC Place for World Cup matches, and it can't be a last-minute decision either. Also ahead.
Let's be clear. She will not lift one finger to help the Remain side in this ridiculous referendum. She's put it on us.
The politics of separation. Plenty of backlash to the Alberta Premier's decision to have a referendum on a referendum. That's ahead.
Ground shook, and the neighbors here watching TV felt their house shake. They felt like a boom.
It was a chaotic night in an Edmonton neighborhood after two crashes happened just blocks apart. One of them ended in an hours-long police standoff after a truck slammed into a brick wall. A witness says the truck hit a curb before crashing, sending a dumpster flying. The aftermath of another crash could be seen at a bus shelter nearby. It's unclear what prompted the standoff or whether the two crashes are connected. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says a new referendum on separation has the potential to bring the province together and offer Albertans some finality to an important issue. Voters will weigh in through a non-binding question this October, but the debate has already descended into chaos. CTV's Tim Brooke has a reaction from across the country.
Danielle Smith says it's really quite simple.
We do not want this lingering around for 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 years, creating that level of uncertainty. People know on October 19th there's a choice to be made.
That choice, should Alberta remain a province of Canada, or should the government of Alberta commence the legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding provincial referendum on whether or not Alberta should separate from Canada? Smith says the former option would ideally end the separation conversation once and for all. The latter would begin a process to hold a real vote on separation that would take at least 2 years to happen.
And I would hope that whichever side loses accepts the judgment of the people in the direction that we go. So I would say this is the ultimate policy debate.
The Premier claims the roughly 700,000 people who have signed a petition to either stay in or leave Canada want a firm answer, and so it's time to give them one. But many who signed the Forever Canadian petition say it was only to put an end to this sentiment.
And for Danielle Smith to say, oh, you wanted a referendum, not only is it lies, not only is it gaslighting, it treats Albertans like they're idiots.
Hundreds joined an Alberta NDP rally held symbolically at Confederation Park on Friday. That party is one of a handful of groups launching a campaign to stay.
Do not be fooled by her deathbed conversion last night, in which she said, I'm fighting for Canada. Because let's be clear, she will not lift one finger to help the Remain side in this ridiculous referendum. She's put it on us.
Across the country, it's conversation topic number one.
We're working in a spirit of cooperative federalism to make the country better. We're renovating the country as we go, and Alberta being at the center of that is essential.
Ontario's premier says he would never ask a question about separation.
She wants to, I guess, protect her 30% base. It's not going to win, as far as I'm concerned. It'd be a disaster for Alberta.
Smith has reiterated she's on Team Canada. In fact, she's promised to hold campaigning town halls this summer to speak to voters. Some believe if that would have happened earlier, this all could have been avoided.
I think it's a rather clumsy attempt to try and get around the decision of the judge. If the answer is yes to the second question, clearly Indigenous rights are at risk or they're being breached.
The big reveal at an Edmonton zoo, welcoming 3 new Arctic wolf pups. Also coming up, this little seal pup was found alone in critical condition in Haida Gwaii. What experts are saying about the animal's recovery. That's ahead.
Time now for tonight's Skywatch. The skyline of downtown Vancouver, shot from across Burrard Inlet near Lonsdale Quay under sunny skies.
CTV Skywatch is brought to you by Kermac Collision and Autoglass, the name you'll remember when it matters. Kermac cares for kids.
Injured seal pup is recovering at the Marine Mammal Rescue Centre, the centre's first pup of the season. Crews with the Vancouver Aquarium Marine Mammal Rescue Society say the little pup was found emaciated and alone beneath a BC Ferries ramp in Haida Gwaii. The pup arrived in critical condition on May 19th. The team says it is focusing on stabilizing him, keeping him comfortable, and giving him the time and care he needs to rest and recover. He has been named Survivor in the Haida language.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, he's very cute. He does look a bit confused. Like, where am I? Yeah. What am I doing? Who are these people?
Yeah, but I'm sure he's going to make a full recovery because everybody there is so great with animals.
Yes, he's in good hands.
All right, let's take a look at our forecast as we finish off the work week. Blue skies and sunshine out there. We are once again, the hot spot in Canada today was in BC. Lytton at 30.1 degrees, close but not close to the record set back in 2001 at 30. 33.7 degrees. The ridge of high pressure that brought us all the warm temperatures and clear conditions easing and sliding towards the southeast. We do have a low to the northwest corner of the province, and that is going to bring in some wet weather, especially for the north coast. So here's how everything will play out as we head through the overnight into tomorrow morning. Periods of rain for the north and central coast, still dry for the south coast and southern interior as we head through the afternoon, clearing up quite nicely. We will see a mix of sun and cloud for the south coast, and it'll get cloudier as we head into Sunday with that onshore flow. Another low develops, bringing us cooler temperatures as we head into next week, and we will see some rain as well to kick off the new week. You'll see active weather for the southern interior, your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. Mix of sun and cloud tomorrow for Port Hardy. You'll see a high of 14 degrees, mostly sunny skies, and 21s for Campbell River and Comox for the South Island. Another beautiful day, a great way to kick off the weekend. A mix of sun and cloud for Tofino at 15. You'll see mostly sunny skies from Port Alberta right down to Victoria with temperatures between 18 and 24 degrees. Mostly sunny skies and 20s for the Sunshine Coast. A touch warmer as you make your way up the Sea to Sky Highway with 21 degrees for Whistler and Squamish. And for us across the Lower Mainland, we'll see a mix of sun and cloud with temperatures between 18 degrees near the water, 22 degrees further inland. Heading into Sunday, it does cloud over with a few breaks and 18 degrees. Rain returns, cooler temperatures of 14 degrees on Monday. Clears up for Tuesday afternoon at 17. Mostly sunny skies on Wednesday. And then as we head into Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud and 18 degrees. Heading into Friday to finish off the work week, we'll start off with rain. It does dry up, and we'll see some sunny breaks through the afternoon with a high of 18 degrees. So a dry weekend, but yes, you dust off your umbrellas for Monday. We do need the rain. Unfortunately, it doesn't last that very long because it clears up for the rest of the week.
Yeah, it's just that one little blip of rain, and then it gets warm again.
Exactly.
Definitely feels like summer now, though.
It definitely does.
All right, thanks, Anne. A zoo in Edmonton is celebrating some new additions after 3 Arctic wolf puppies were born.
They look like fat, healthy babies.
The puppies were born sometime in late April. Their exact birth date is unknown as their mother, Aspen, burrowed underground to give birth. The puppy's father is Tundra, the zoo's 14-year-old Arctic wolf who recently moved into a new exhibit with 2 females. The zoo says it will take a hands-off approach with the pups as they settle into their habitat.
They're outside right at the entrance to the den, but they're already playing with each other, jumping around, going up to meet Tundra. They're very interested in who Dad is right now. We try and make sure that the wolves are comfortable, and the best way for baby wolves to be raised is by other wolves.
The puppies will get their first checkup and vaccines when they are 8 to 12 weeks old. The zoo will be able to determine their sex at that time as well. The puppies will reach adult size within about 6 months. We'll take you to a new resource in Chinatown to teach people about the history of the community. Also ahead.
I think it's very unfair because we didn't do anything wrong.
Some consumers with season passes for car washes contacted CTV when the passes were suddenly canceled. How Petro-Canada responded. That's ahead. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar traded around 72 cents U.S. Oil up 25 cents, sitting around $95. Gold lost $19 on the day. And taking a look at the stock market, the TSX up 61 points. The Dow Jones gained 294 points. As if the tickets didn't cost enough, we now know how much World Cup fans will have to shell out for parking. It will cost $75 to park at BC Place during a World Cup match. Only one parking pass can be purchased per ticket, and it must be booked in advance. Vancouver will host 7 matches at BC Place over the course of 3 weeks, with the first kicking off on June 13th. Car wash passes that allow for frequent visits can be a good idea for those who like to keep their vehicle clean, but they come with some limitations. Here's CTV's Pat Foran with what you need to know about the passes.
If you like to keep a clean vehicle, Petro-Canada will sell you a season's pass that will let you use the car wash every day. Vutran of Newmarket bought a 180-day season car wash pass for $490.
Well, the way to keep our car nice and clean and, basically preventing rusting from
the road salt in the wintertime.
The season's pass gets a lot of use at his house. There are 4 cars and trans family, but he says it's allowed under the pass's terms and conditions.
We use it within the family, the same household, same address, 4 cars, and there was nowhere in the term condition that you can only wash 1 car.
He still had 80 days left when his season's pass quit working.
They canceled my car because I used multiple devices for the same car wash.
We were halfway of the usage of the card when suddenly the card was suspended.
Shirin Abdul Karimi of Thornhill also had her 90-day pass canceled that she paid $270 for. She said the pass was only on 1 smartphone. She and her husband took turns washing their cars each day.
I think it's very unfair because we didn't do anything wrong.
Petro-Canada says the pass is for 1 wash per day, but in its terms and conditions, it says the card can only be loaded onto 1 smartphone. Petro-Canada told CTV News, car wash season passes may only be downloaded to 1 device. Users found to be in violation were sent a cancellation email. However, after reviewing usage on these cards, we determined the season's passes were incorrectly flagged and have reinstated them. So both Tran and Abdul Karimi were given replacement car wash passes, which was great news for them.
Thank you, CTV. You've been very great.
You guys are doing a great thing for consumers. Thank you so much for what you did.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
A 24-hour stand-up show, larger-than-life floral displays, and the Hall of Flame calendar selection party. The Friday Feel-Goods are next. Plus, after they called him Casey, Adam finds out the unexpected story behind an old lawn tractor sitting along the side of the road. Coming up on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's a preview of Your Morning Vancouver.
Well, not a lot of parents want their children to take risks when playing, but what are they missing out on? Monday on Your Morning Vancouver, the link between reckless and responsible. We'll take a look at a new UBC study. Also, the benefits of breastfeeding, why researchers say it can reduce inequalities among low-income families. Plus, some tips for making a spring floral arrangement. We'll see you Monday morning.
A new cultural hub opened in Chinatown today, aimed at bringing the history of the neighborhood to life.
What makes this so powerful is it really does help younger generations understand how much was built and at what cost by those that came before us.
The Learning Lab is a 4,000 square foot space inside the Chinatown Storytelling Center. It features immersive environments, complete with historic facades and digital displays. The space will serve as a hub for educational programs, tours, and community gatherings. The son of former Canucks captain Henrik Sedin is suiting up for Team Canada in a different sport. Walter Sedin has been named to Canada Soccer's men's under-20 national team for the 2026 Maurice Revello tournament in France. The prestigious international youth event features some of the best young talent in the world. Canada opens the tournament against Venezuela on June 1st. I was thinking, you know, it's good that he is excelling in a different sport, don't you think?
Yeah.
It'd be so hard to live up to your dad's.
And your uncles.
Yeah. Let's pick a completely different sport, soccer.
Smart. Still got the athletic gene, though.
Definitely, yeah. And probably the work ethic, too. Okay, it's time for Friday Feel Goods, a weekly roundup of unique events happening in Metro Vancouver.
That's right, and here are 3 things worth checking out.
Wait, a 24-hour comedy show?
It's a 24-hour show.
That's right. Comedian Graham Clark is back for his annual 24-hour stand-up show at Little Mountain Gallery. Starting tonight at 8, he'll be delivering jokes written by local comedians working in 2-hour shifts. You can buy a full-day pass, so see one 75-minute set, or live stream the event online. This year, the fundraiser will benefit the Downtown East Side Women's Center.
And everybody who volunteered.
Wow, how is he doing that?
A lot of caffeine.
Yes, I was thinking that.
I can imagine the 4 or 5 a.m. hours.
Yeah, at least he doesn't have to think of the joke.
Yes, that's right.
His brain will be like just mush.
He's just performing while everybody writes for him.
Yeah, pretty challenging.
And a great cause.
All
right, a stunning floral display is in bloom at Van Dusen Botanical Garden. Fleur de Vie Wonder features 20 flower installations created by local artists, all inspired by the natural wonders of the world. The event is on now until the end of the month with daily floral demonstrations and workshops, as well as several floral-inspired food and beverage offerings.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. And we've seen some of those downtown on
exactly.
Robson Street. Reminds me, I have to go get some annuals this weekend.
Yes,
Don't I? I need to do
planting.
some gardening. It won't look like that, though.
I just have to go visit that one because everything, we're changing gears here. There you go. The Roxy will be hotter than ever this Saturday as firefighters battle to be the stars of the 40th annual Hall of Flame calendar. This year's selection party is all about cover models with 5 spots open to both men and women to win the audience's vote. All of the proceeds raised from ticket sales support the BC Burn Fund and Vancouver firefighter charities.
Wow, they've put a lot of work into promoting like that.
A lot of work.
It doesn't come overnight, right? Okay, if you have any events you'd like us to highlight, email your tips to ctvfeelgoods@ctv.ca. We'll get to the Sawatsky sign-off in just a minute, but first, Lauren, what's coming up tonight?
Well, Mijang, we are, as we head into the weekend, we are tracking a couple of out-of-control wildfires that sparked today, including a new blaze on the Sunshine Coast. And renowned environmentalist David Suzuki is marking a milestone, how he is being celebrated for his 90th birthday and the message that he is sharing for the next generation ahead at 11:30.
Yeah, doesn't he look amazing for 90?
Incredible.
He's got that good Japanese longevity gene, right? Okay, well, finally, a lonely old lawnmower gets a second chance thanks to a father and son and a whole lot of imagination. Adam finds out how Casey went from rusting away to becoming the most popular ride on the block on tonight's Sawatsky sign-off.
While this old lawn tractor likely appreciates this father and son's efforts, nothing could compare to the feeling of getting a new name.
It's a Case 117 tractor, and so it's Casey. It's simple as that.
Although his previous owner called him past his prime, Casey couldn't wait to show Adam that he could still mow like a tractor half his age.
It just was barely hanging on there. It started cutting the grass, and then it died about halfway into the boulevards.
So Adam did all he could to fix Casey.
I started taking it apart, and it didn't go back together again.
So Casey just sat, useless, watching the years go by, until he heard kids like Ivor.
It's over on this side.
And like the hum of mowing lawns herald the start of spring, to Casey, laughing children sounded like new possibilities.
How was that? Good.
Of course, slides and swings are good, this 5-year-old will tell you. But when you happen upon a tractor, that's even better than great.
So cool.
Especially when there's a sign that says, "Hello, my name is Casey, let's go for a ride." Ivor, like countless other kids in the neighborhood, always accepts the invitation.
I'll start the motor.
And Adam regularly makes new signs to inspire their imagination.
Don't go over 100 clicks, Casey's getting old, or please bring back Casey with a full tank of gas.
It's also to let other parents know it's okay for their kids to take Casey on an adventure.
It works, if you believe it works.
And if you believe a couple tweaks can transform this tractor into a rocket ship or race car or a surfboard that can catch the world's biggest waves before you wipe out with a twist, Casey will make it work.
You name it, it fits the bill.
And just because you have to stop doing something you love, Casey shows us, doesn't mean you can't start doing another thing that turns out to be even better.
Maybe it doesn't do what it was designed to do originally, but it's got a great new life now.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. They make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
I thought that they were going to get it going again throughout the whole story. I thought it...
All you need is imagination, though.
Exactly.
That it's going miles in that kid's mind.
That's true. You don't need to have it really moving.
It's even better like that. All right, our scenic snapshot for tonight. Look at this, blue skies in Sucker at Robson Square, so look up. Thanks, Sandy, for sending this great photo in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
That looks good. We see that every day, just a block away from us.
Countdown is on.
Looks cool. All right, thank you so much for joining us. Lauren's back tonight at 11:30.
Good night.